You're Carrie again. So I'm going to tell you guys today about how I find products in Amazon. There are multiple ways to find products, as many of you know. There are multiple apps that you can use, different websites. But I'm going to tell you about my favorite two, and I'm going to show you a step-by-step process of how I find products. I teach these to hundreds of my students. I, explain this process. It has worked for me and has worked for hundreds of people that I've taught and I currently teach. So this is going to be a series. It's going to be like a series of over a couple of days showing you how to find products, and not just finding any products, but products that will get you profit on Amazon and keep you in the game for a very long time. This is how I found my very first product back in 2020, and I'm still selling that product today in the home and kitchen category. So today we're going to focus on viral launch, and I'm going to show you exactly how I do it step by step. I'm going to share my screen with you and show you all the steps. Stay tuned. All right, so now I'm going to show you guys Viral Launch. So Viral Launch is a website that I use to find products, like I said earlier. So I'm going to show you what the landscape looks like first, so you know exactly what website to go to. So here is how the main page on Viral Launch looks. Is Viral-Launch, and that's where you can get a free trial right here where it says start your free trial, and you can register and get like a 14 days for free. And I think every month, I'm not sure exactly how much they charge, but you can use a free trial at least to have this test. So now I'm ready to sign up right here. I already have an account. As you can see, my name right here. The way I teach my students is in a way that doesn't get them overwhelmed. So you see all these tabs over here, there are multiple of them. There's kinetic, discovery, product discovery, there's so many of them. Trying to understand and analyze every single tab is going to get you overwhelmed, right? So I focus on just the first two, actually the second and the third tabs right here. So if, for example, I'm in Walmart, right? I'm just walking around the store. I'm like, I see a pencil case. I'm like, I think I should sell a pencil case. Let me see. You can actually take that pencil case idea and put it on Viral Launch and see how the market is, right? Because I found some products that are not typically on all these websites, these validation websites, but they have still been successful. And I use those ideas, or I get those products and I plug it into a website like Viral Launch, and it tells me what the market is looking like. So I'm going to show you that first. So like I said, you walk into the store, you see a pencil case, I'm like, I want to sell that. But with Amazon, you cannot just think of any product or see any product like just go want to sell it, because we have to look at the data and make sure that something's going to be profitable and is going to keep you in the game for a while. I don't believe in launching products 1 month. I sell for like 6 months. I make all my money and I disappear. For me, I love longevity. I like selling products that stand the test of time. So let me show you now. So now I found the products. Let me validate it. You're going to go to Market Intelligence right here, as you can see on my screen. Click on Market Intelligence, go to search, and then let's plug in the product pencil case. So I'm going to go over here, type in pencil case, and then right here are different countries on this drop down. Of course, we're in the United States. If you're in Canada, you're watching this from Canada, wherever country you're watching from. Select the country you are in or where you plan to sell. Because I have a lot of students that live in Canada, but they sell in the United States. So you're trying to analyze the United States market because that's what you're trying to sell. That makes sense. So I'm leaving the United States. I'm going to select United States and then go to analyze. So it does give it a second to spin. This is going to show you specifically for the pencil case what the market is looking like on Amazon today. So you have like raw data. So here we've seen the numbers. So the number one thing that I like to focus on is here where it says search volume. For some reason, it says not available. That is not usual. Normally, you're going to see numbers right there. So what you want your search volume to be is 10,000 and above. I'll tell you exactly what that means. A search volume of 10,000 is almost a guarantee that a product has demand. It means that people are looking for the product. People are searching for the product. People want it, right? And you need to find a product that people want. So no matter what you're selling, even if you're selling like a gold earring, right? Like whatever karat gold, the highest karat gold you can find, and you're selling it for $2. If people don't want it, they don't want it, right? So you have to find a product that people actually want. Where does the demand for? And that's where the search volume comes in. So normally it's 10,000 and above. It's a good product. Here it's saying not available. So let's assume it's 20,000, right? So that meet the criteria for demand. We know it has demand. We know that this product is going to potentially do well. So that checks number one on our criteria list. The second thing on criteria list is review count right here. See where it says select a product averages? I just highlighted the review count. So the review count is tied to competition. Search volume is tied to demand. Review count is tied to competition. You don't want to sell a product that's too competitive. I see some people that don't take courses that I took or courses that I teach right now. They didn't take those courses, and then they find any product. They're not sure what the demand is. They're not sure what the competition is. They jump in and like, oh, Amazon does not work. It does work. You need to find a product that has a review count of 600 or less. And I'll tell you why. If I go into a market right now, for example, I'm going to sell the pencil cases, and I go over here and I see my review count, let's just give a number, 2,500. That tells me that there's been a lot of people in the market that have gained dominance in that market. They've been selling the pencil cases for a long time. They've been able, on an average, to get 25 reviews each. I'm not saying every single person has 2,500 reviews, but most of them have, or let's say the average of the review number is 2,500. I go into a market as a new seller. I come in with my fashionable, beautiful pencil case. I want to make a difference, right? It's going to be almost impossible because I'm going to have to compete with my 0 reviews and try to compete with someone that has 2,500. It's literally a lost battle. There is no way I can scale to the level that the people who are currently selling are and be able to make any kind of profits or be able to stay in the game. Your key number is 600 or less. So as a recap, make sure your search volume is 10,000 and above, but your review count has to be 600 and below. So the lower your review count, the more likely it is for you to penetrate the market, stay in the market, make profit, and be relevant. So that's criteria number 2. Criteria number 3 here. So for this pencil case, we're zooming, like I said, search volume is 20,000. Check. Review count 1,105. Not check, because that's a little too high than we want it to. The next thing you want to do, so I'm going to show you about just 3 major criteria. There are multiple criteria, like I can list 50 different criteria that I look for when I find a product. But I'm going to show you just 3 because I don't want this video to get too long. So for the product price right here, we need the average. Why is this in pounds? Okay, let's go back because this is showing me in pounds. It should not be in pounds. Maybe we did this in a European market for some reason. Okay, let's go back. So we're going to go to search. And this is showing United Kingdom, of course. All right, so let's go back to United States. That's why our numbers were weird. Okay, so let's go in here and type in pencil case again. And then this is the United States. You're going to analyze. All right, so I'm sure the search volume will show us numbers now because the United States is the largest Amazon market, period. Alrighty, so now we're talking. So the search volume is 143,937. That means literally you have 143,000 people searching for pencil case on Amazon per month. That is incredible. That is good news, but it's not always good news. It only meets the criteria of demand. It shows that it does have a demand. A lot of people want pencil cases, great, but that's not all we're looking for. So it's past that criteria. So going back to the review count that we talked about, just that when you United Kingdom market for some weird reason, I'm not sure how we got there, but the review count here is showing 5,319. And from what I told you guys earlier, that is a no-no. That is just horrible. Means that people in the market, their reviews are at least 5,000 on average. How are you going to scale that? If you have a trick, please let me know. But for 5 years I've been selling and teaching Amazon, there's no way you can scale that. It's a lost battle. Because to get reviews on Amazon could be very difficult. It takes you months, sometimes years and years and years to get reviews. I think my first product I launched back in 2020, I barely had 10,000 reviews, and that's over 5 years. Sometimes you don't have up to 2,000. So review numbers is very important. Over here, way too high, 5,319. We're not doing it. So 1 criteria checked, search volume. Number 2 criteria, not checked. Number 3 criteria, like I said, I'm telling you the 3 major criteria. I'm not going to give you too much information on this video. On the next series, we can go further. So here, for the product price, we want our price to be minimum $20. So here we're saying that people that are selling their pencil cases on average are selling for $9.17. That's too cheap. Because even if you have a landing cost, and what a landing cost is how much you buy your product from China or wherever you buy it from, how much it costs you to ship it, and any other associated fees. Even if that landed cost is 50 cents, Amazon will charge you way more than 50 cents to store it and to ship it to your customers. So once you calculate all that and you sell it for $9, you might have a profit of 50 cents or something, and that's not a business. So for me, I tell my students, if you cannot get at least $10 average on a sale of 1 single item, you shouldn't do it. Because Amazon's a lot of work, especially when you're setting it up. And spending all that time for 50 cents on each product is not worth it. And let me show you some examples right here. So here are the sellers. Like I said, this is used. I'm going to tell you guys more in more videos. But look at this guy over here. This guy, his tag is an outlier. I'll tell you what an outlier means on subsequent videos. But he's in a negative. You see this right here? Negative 15 cents. That means that he's spending way more than he's making. And that's horrible business. Horrible. You don't want to be there. So that is a red flag. That is a problem. So even if he is in a negative, look at what other people are making. This guy's making $1.44. This is Amazon. Great. Sold by Amazon. 91 cents. So for me, this market is not worth going into, because even if you do scale, you do well, at the end of the day, you're not making much profit. So here, where it says the product price $9.17, that is too cheap. The goal you need to have is at least a $20 price point or higher. So these are the three criteria I'm going to tell you guys about today. We're not going to explore anything more today, but I'm going to tell you these three criteria. Make sure that you follow them. But in the next videos, I'm going to tell you more criteria. So today's video, we talked about how to find products from, how to validate products, right? You find a product, you're in the store, or you're driving around your street, you find a product like, oh, I think I'm going to sell this. Use this strategy. But like I said, this is the basic of the basic. It is not all compassing. It's just the basic of how to find ideas, validate ideas to see if it's something you want to do. Okay, so that was one way of finding products using Viral Launch, of finding profitable ideas for products. Like just a little recap. So we talked about how to find a product using Viral Launch from ideas that you find in your everyday life. You're walking down the street, you go to the store, you are in a friend's house, you see a little cup, you see a pencil, you're like, okay, let me go check and see if this is something that could fetch me some money on Amazon. So that's the way to find products or to validate products that you see in everyday life. So this is going to be a series, like I mentioned when I started. I'm going to have another video show you guys how to find products organically. Like you have no idea for a product and you're like, okay, I need to find something that's going to get me money on Amazon. I'm going to show you exactly how to do that using a different tab on Viral Launch. Not the market intelligence this time. This one's going to be the product discovery tab. And I'm going to show you how to do that. A step-by-step process again. So stay tuned, and that video is going to drop tomorrow. See you soon. Bye.